Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia. Let's talk books. Today I'm here to talk about a specific book called Too Soon for Adios by Annette Chavez Macias. The author did send me a physical arc of the book to read, which I am really grateful for. She did a few giveaways on social media, and so I know some people got it that way, but I was so grateful because I loved Annette Chavez Macias' previous women's fiction book, Big Chicas Don't Cry. It was amazing, and her romances, I've been really enjoying them, and so this is an author that I am keeping track of. I can't wait to read more of her, so let's get right to Too Soon for Adios. What a gorgeous cover, isn't it? In the story, you're following Gabby, whose mother just passed away. She just passed away. In fact, the funeral, the book opens up with the funeral. So Gabby is grieving the death of her mother still. It's very fresh. And at the funeral, a man she doesn't know goes up to her and tells her that he is her father. Now, Gabby already had a father. Her mother married a man who raised her and who was her father. But he was not her biological father. And so she decides that she is going to take up an offer her biological father makes, because she ends up in a position where she is feeling lost. She doesn't know what the next step of her life is. She put her life on hold for months in order to take care of her mother who was dying. And now what is she supposed to do now? She's at a complete loss. She has two wonderful aunts who are trying to guide her through this process, who are there for her. But also Gabby feels like she needs to figure this out on her own, and that she can do that by accepting her biological father's offer without necessarily forgiving him for the past. And so she does that. She moves to a little town of Sonrisa, New Mexico. And let me tell you, this town that Annette Chavez Macias created here, I don't know if it's based on a real town or not, but it is an amazing town. As Gabby learns more about Sonrisa, New Mexico, I fell in love with Sonrisa, New Mexico. This world, Sonrisa, New Mexico, was founded by a group of Adelitas. And if you don't know about Adelitas, then this will be such a beautiful surprise in the story. But the Adelitas were Mexican women that fought next to Pancho Villa in the Mexican Revolution. They were famous for that. But after the Mexican Revolution, they did experience trouble in Mexico because people expected them to go back to like domestic life. And after fighting in a revolution, I don't think you can just ask somebody to just like become a housewife and mother only when she's seen major change, and she's seen how the country can change, has made that change happen. And so in the story, these group of women moved to New Mexico to found this town. So that theme of female empowerment and history, I loved. The main story we're following, though, is not the story of the Adelitas. It's the story of Gabby and of grief, right? Grief is a huge topic here, and a lot of us have been going through a lot of grief in the last few years because of the pandemic. People have lost loved ones, family members. For other reasons still have lost family ones, and I think this book handles grief really well. It handles it in a way that is not super heavy. There is a heaviness there because grief is inherently heavy, but it's Gabby working through that grief, so you're not bogged down in somebody who cannot escape that grief. You're in the story working through this grief with her, and I found that to be so beautiful. So I don't even consider this book to be heavy when it comes to the grief. I think it's actually kind of light-hearted in that way, and that felt really, really amazing. Gabby doesn't forget her family. She doesn't forget the death of her mother. She doesn't forget the death of the father, the man who raised her. But she's also in a space where she is connecting to new people, to her biological father. She is learning that she can still make friends, that there's still life after that grief, and that I found really beautiful. Food. Gabby is a chef, and she was working as a sous chef before her mother's sickness, and then she finds out that her father is a chef, and that his grandparents actually started a restaurant in Sonrisa, New Mexico. And so it's like a missing piece of her has been found, right? Like, she never knew where she got this love of food and etc. And lo and behold, she has a family history of a relationship with food. And the way the food comes in here is so beautiful. Annette Chavez Macias did something similar in Big Chicas Don't Cry, where like food is important. And I think it's true that in a lot of Latino cultures, food is an important part of our culture. And the way she handles it here is so beautiful, because it is a way of Gabby connecting with her biological father, and also kind of accepting that like she might have lost her father and mother, but that she's not alone in this world, and that her biological father actually is like the key to unlocking parts of herself that she didn't know were there, and that she doesn't need to reject her biological father in order to make her mother and father proud. It's so beautiful. And the food will make you hungry. So it's also a book a lot about your place in the world and finding yourself in unexpected places. And that, oh, it spoke to my heart so much. There is a romantic storyline, though it's not the main focus, right? We're following Gabby as she's dealing with her grief and new things in her life. But one of those new things is a love interest, a man she initially hates. It's a very Pride and Prejudice first meeting, but who turns out to be just the person she needs. And there's a little bit of miscommunication there, but it's miscommunication that is immediately handled. Like, Annette Chavez Macias immediately gets to, okay, these are two adults, they need to handle their stuff, and they do. And so it was beautifully done. I really liked it. The beginning, I think the beginning of the story was where it was a little bit rougher. So it does take like 2-3 chapters to get into the story. Unlike Big Chicas Don't Cry. The previous book, I like immediately, chapter 1 grabbed me. This one took a little bit more. There was a few cliche elements in that at the beginning of the book. But I felt fully immersed in the story, and Gabby made me, at times I was frustrated with her, but most of the time I was just right there with her, experiencing all these things, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm here to tell you that if you are interested at all in the story, that I think you should give this a chance, that you should pick it up from your local library, request it from the library, or purchase it yourself. I think it's a really nice book. So I will leave it at that. If you are interested in picking it up, or if you've read Big Chicas Don't Cry, like several people had told me that they were interested in that one, and if you are watching this video and you watched and you read that book, let's talk about it. If you're picking up too soon for Adios, let me know. I want to know. If you've already read it, I want to hear your thoughts on it as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.